So I'm trying to study for my beer judge certification, and so I've decided to start doing reviews based on style. So I'm going to start from number one, standard American beer. So I have three different kinds of standard American beer here. I have Bell's Oberon, which is a American wheat ale. I have Firestone's Lager, which is an American lager. And then I have Mother Earth's Cali Cream Ale, which is a cream ale. So I'm going to basically just try each of them, kind of giving you guys my tasting notes and compare them to my sheet. I've got some highlights. This is basically what you can get from the BJC website. It's the entire list of characteristics of every specific style. Essentially, it's what you use for beer judging, and it's what you use to study for your beer judge certification. So we have aroma, appearance, flavor, mouthfeel, and I'm going to kind of give you guys an idea of what all of those are for each of these beers and how each beer is similar, and we can start drinking. So the only one of these beers I've had before is actually the Cali Cream Ale, so let's go ahead and start with that one. So the Cali Cream Ale falls under the cream ale category, and that's 1C. So cream ale, the aroma should be medium to low malts, not a ton of hops, but can have a little bit of floral, spicy, or herbal. It should be pretty subtle, but like without hops or malt being distinguished. Cali Cream Ale always, I hope there's not friggin' vanilla in this, because it always smells like vanilla to me. Okay, this has vanilla in it, so this doesn't count, and I'm stupid, but so it's, don't count this one. We're not doing Cali Creaming anymore. Okay, so we're gonna do Firestone and Oberon. So Firestone is an American lager. It's like your Budweiser's, full strength Budweiser though, not Bud Light. That would fall under the American light lager category. American lagers can have adjuncts like corn or rice. I did not want to review Budweiser on my channel for obvious reasons, so I went with Firestone. They have a tasting room in LA that I've been to before. It's actually really great. So the American lager, it has like a little, you know, the sulfuric kind of pilsnery smell. It smells like that. I can't really detect any hops. Not any hops at all, really. The head is pretty small bubbles. It looks pretty good. All I want to do is compare this to Budweiser because, I don't know, I grew up drinking Budweiser and I kind of like it still. It's like a sweeter lager. This one's a little drier than Budweiser. It's super light body. Obviously, it's crystal clear. So this one's lagered, which means that you're fermenting under like 55 degrees. Essentially, you're using lager yeast. This is probably using an American lager yeast. You could drink this all day, and it's 4.5%. You know, it's just like kind of a standard run-of-the-mill beer. It's your lawnmower beer, your beer that you're just gonna drink any day. It's a beer your dad's gonna drink. So an American lager, it's a pale, highly carbonated, light-bodied, well-attenuated lager. Neutral profile, that's what I'm getting. It's actually making my mouth water, making me want to drink it more. There's no malt flavor, no hop flavor really present. It just, you know, it's like flavored water essentially, and like you really all you can really pick up is, I pick up like a tiny bit of corn. And I'm actually not sure if they use corn in this. It might just be like, that's what lagers taste like to me because that's what Budweiser is made with. Actually, Budweiser might be made with rice. Whatever it's made with, it's like that typical lager taste. And honestly, this is just as good as any other lager I've ever had. But it's hard for me to tell you like if it's a good lager because I feel like, you know, when you're going up against Budweiser, you're going up against like they're making what they make for so many people because it's actually good. Like it, just because it's owned by InBev doesn't mean it's a bad beer. It just means that their practices are a little not what we want. Okay, so the Bell's Oberon, it is an American wheat ale, and I've never had this before, but I have had their Two Hearted, and it's one of my favorite IPAs. It's super good. So this says it has a spicy hop character, mild fruity aroma. American wheat ales are actually, for the standard beer category, they're allowed to have a little more flavor, a little more spiciness, and they're not necessarily supposed to be super highly attenuated like the lagers are. But obviously, like a lager, you're going to get a really high attenuation. But even though cream ales are ales, but they're still supposed to be pretty highly attenuated when you're going into this category. So let's see what we got. So it's pretty cloudy, which that's not a mark against it at all. The head, you know, I probably poured it a little wonky, but the head is not super like a wheat, I would say. But now that I'm mixing it up, it's getting there. Like you can kind of see how creamy and thick it is. The Oberon is actually one of the commercial examples that BJCP gives you under the American wheat beer category. So it's nice to try something that is like totally approved to be a example of what you should aim for when you're trying to match this category. So the appearance, golden yellow, it hits it on the head, obviously. Aroma, low to moderate grain, bread or dough. There should be no banana or clove like you can get in Belgian wheat beers. I get a little bit of dough. It kind of smells like when you're prepping yeast for bread a little bit. Okay, so flavor, bready, slightly bitter, low moderate hops, moderate malty sweetness, and finish dry. It's actually a really good beer. I think I actually like American wheat beers better than the Belgians, because the Belgians, like honestly, the bananas and cloves really throw me off in Belgians, and that's why I typically won't order one. And I feel like everyone's idea of what a wheat beer is the Belgian wheats that are super yeasty and estery, and this is really light and smooth. It is very dry in the finish. It is a little sweet on the mouth. And I get a tiny bit of hop bitterness, but not any distinguishable flavors that I can pick out. It's more like the bitterness on the middle of your tongue that you can get from hops. It says on the sheet that the mouthfeel can give you a fluffy impression, which is exactly what I'm getting. This does feel like a fluffy beer. It also feels like a beer you could drink all day. It's a low ABV, I believe. It's 5.8, so it's really not a low ABV. So honestly, for 5.8%, it's really, really light and nice and drinkable. So, I mean, I feel like I got a better idea now of what, and I don't think I've ever had an American wheat beer before. So I'm really happy that I tried this one. Kind of pissed that Cali Cream Ale has vanilla in it, but that makes a lot of sense because when you get it on nitro, it's basically like cereal. I usually hate beers with vanilla in them, but I actually kind of like this one. You know, I have a friend who always gets me on it, and especially when you can get it on nitro, I strongly suggest it. It tastes like cereal milk, like straight out of the tap. It's awesome. And they make one that tastes like a creamsicle because it has tangerine in it, and it is to die for. If you ever find it, get it. I promise you. I've only gotten it from a Mother Earth rep, and I'm not sure how commercially available it is, but it's amazing. So, I hope you learned a little bit about number 1 on the BJCP list, standard American beer. I sure did. If you like the video, like and subscribe it. Thanks so much for watching.